Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel. Today for you I do have a how I do video. Hopefully I'll be able to get this one fairly short. I did try it yesterday and ended up at I think it was around about 45 minutes. So today we'll try and be more concise, more accurate and get it done a little more rapidly. What are we looking at? How I do frill tracks. Now most modelers, armour modelers, certainly more experienced modelers will be aware of these. What they are is a white metal replacement track and come individual links with brass wire to pin between them. Voila! Leave them in shot, may as well. And what you get once you've finished, and this is not actually finished, this is a part built section, is something that looks a little like that. And what better to simulate a rusty metal track than, well, not rusty, a corroded white metal track rather than iron. There are a number of steps we have to do really to get the best out of these, and I'll just move my seat about a bit because I'm kind of off centre. So, number of steps we pretty much need to do to get the best out of these, as they're not cheap to buy. In some cases almost as much if not more than the kit, so we're going to take our time, make sure we do it right. So what do we need? Well, move that out of the way first. Tools we will need. Well, we're going to need a pin vise as tool number one. And I use just a Citadel one because it's what I have. And whichever drill size it states in the sheet we get with it, which in this case is a 0.5mm. And as it's that fine you probably can't even see it, but there we go. 1/2mm drill bit. Now to get these, because I don't use them too often, I didn't bother with expensive ones. I just went on Amazon and got a random box of micro and mini and just small drill bits. I think it was about £13, and there's sort of 10 of each of the micro sizes up to 0.9mm. Then from 1mm up you get like 5 of each. But, yeah, enough to see you through for a plenty long time. Because what we need to do with these, and I'll put these out of the way because we don't actually need them right now, is on the track links, obviously where the pins go through, we have holes. Now because you can just about pick those out there. Now because they're white metal, you do get some flashing in, specifically inside the holes. So what we need to do is go through each link and just check the holes are clear, and using the drill to drill out as we go so that we can get the track pins through. Safety tip number one: don't stab yourself in the finger with a 1/2mm drill bit. It goes straight through and it really hurts. So if you want to wear a thimble, go for it. It's just, it's not so bad on things like these which offer the king target. If you're doing something smaller like the first set I did with a Scorpion, and that was a 0.4mm drill bit, so I did manage to get through it without breaking a drill bit or stabbing myself once, which is quite impressive. So once we've got all our tracks drilled out, as we go through, that you may find excess bits of white metal flashing on them, just as you would with a plastic part. Same deal to clean up. Either use your sanding stick or a metal file because the metal is very soft. And so we do all that. Once they're ready, we then need a pot of what I would say hot soapy water, although because this is attempt number 2 and I filmed this first one yesterday, this is really cold soapy water. But as I've already done one side, you can see the amount of muck that comes off them just floating about in there. I mean, that is some nasty, nasty. And dirt on them, muck on them, release agent, whatever it is, finger grease, means that the burnishing fluid and the burnishing system won't work so well. So all we do, here's some I cleaned up earlier, dump them in the water, smush them about a bit. Yeah, this is really cold, nasty. And using an old toothbrush, I say old, I actually went and bought some specifically for cleaning stuff, and just give them a quick scrub all over, and then put them to one side so that they can dry. Just let them air dry on a piece of kitchen roll, kitchen paper, whatever you want to call it, and have your shop towel or cave towel ready to dry your hands afterwards. And this is the one time you'll come out of the man cave with cleaner hands than you went in. So once we've given them all a good scrub and they're all clean and dry, what's next? That's where we move on to the actual burnishing. Now there are several variants on the market. There is, I think AK and Ammo do them. The Model Railroaders, I think it's called Blacken It or something like that. Anyway, they all do the same thing. Some might be quicker than others, some might be stronger than others, some might be more toxic. I'm not entirely sure what's in there. But I use the Ultimate Burnishing Fluid from Ultimate Modelling Products, umpretail.com. It's got your basic safety instructions on there. I mean, it's a blend of chemicals that will corrode metal in minutes. So you probably don't really want it on you, or there's a full bottle just as a better show. You probably don't want it on you, in you, anything like that. So if you've got sensitive skin or open cuts or anything like that you're a bit worried about, just stick some nitrile or vinyl gloves on. You know the sort. Most models have got a box of them kicking about somewhere. Just protect your fingers. If you're worried about getting it splashed in your eyes, stick your safety squints on. In my case, I wear glasses anyway, so yeah, I'm not too worried about it. But how do we use the burnishing fluid? Here's some I burnished earlier, and some links I just realised I've left in there overnight. These should be black. So we need a sealable box or container. Oh, there's one in there. And into this, let me just pop that out. That's as black as they're going to get, and rusty. That's cool. So we've got the fluid in here. Now, the Ultimate, it doesn't actually say on the bottle, it says to go to the website for full instructions. I would recommend going and looking and reading, so I'll just go through the very basics. It's pretty much mix it 50-50 with water, just normal cold tap water. It doesn't need to be hot water or anything, although I suppose hot water might make it work a bit quicker, but in this case it doesn't need to be any quicker. As you can see, we've got rust and gunk and muck and God knows what. I mean, those track links were clean when they went in here. This is just I just wash the end of my scissors off, because tweezers, because otherwise they'll go black as well. So yeah, I can't comment on if it smells. It probably does. No sense of smell, so this could just as well be the soapy water if you use blue dish soap. Yeah, just washing up liquid or dish soap in the water, nothing special. You're just looking to degunge it. And literally get your track links once they're all cleaned up, which these are the spares from that side. Pop them in, seal it up, and give them a shake. Just every so often. Give them a little shake just to make sure the fluid gets to every surface of the link, because obviously you could pre-assemble them, but then you'll find if you pre-assemble anywhere, if it goes in there looking, sorry, let me sort this out. If it sits in the water like that and then you put it on a tank like that, you're going to get bright silver sections where the burnishing fluid couldn't get to. Now again, that's one of those things that's up to you, but I prefer to do them individually. Give it another quick shake. I'm not going to do these in real time because it usually takes 7 to 10 minutes usually. Depend on the size of the link or how many you got in there or how strong you've made the solution. As I say, this is 50-50 and it's already done a full set of tracks, so I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't done anything yet. And they're even starting to turn slightly. Again, swish off. So that's how we do it. I will leave those in there and we'll come back and have a look at the end and see if they have actually worked. Obviously it's kind of a one-shot thing with the burnishing fluids. It's a chemical reaction, so once the chemical reaction's spent, they won't do anything. You should probably be careful about how you dispose it. I wouldn't necessarily want to go putting it into anything with like plated fittings, you know, sinks and what have you. Mine will probably go down the toilet, and let's be honest, I probably put far more toxic things down there myself. So once they've come out of the burnishing fluid and you're happy with the colour, we've got a bunch of links. And I just mixed them up and I realised I had them all counted out as to how many I needed, but never mind. So you have a look at them, you see that the colours are okay, not too uniform. They're nicely darkened and rusted. In this case some have gone a bit grey, which is kind of cool. I'll just pick a few up. Oh, that one's gone nice and rusty, so we'll bring that one up. And I'll bring them up so you can see, hopefully it will focus on my hands. There we go. So you can see we've got track links all nicely go down, because we gave them a good scrub and got all the gunk out and gave them a good shake. You can see even the recessed sections on the outside edges of the tracks is all filled in as well. There's no silver bits. Connecting these is where things get a bit awkward. These, obviously with so many link sections, is so many bits for the pins to go through are a bit more awkward to get together. I will just add, I did forget something. When you remove your track links from your solution, dunk them into some clean water, because that will just stop any reaction. Just chuck them in, stick that under the tap, wash it through till they're just wet, and then leave them to dry again. I did forget that, I do apologise. But what we get for the track links, as I untangle it, because this stuff gets everywhere and wraps itself around everything, is just some fine brass wire, probably jeweller's bead maker's wire or something. Get the kink out the end of it. We take the links, we pop them together. Not always the easiest things to line up, as the wire tries to escape again. And there's going to be some weird noises as the wire springs about and bashes into things. Line them up and work the wire in. If it doesn't go in easily, which this isn't, some of them it just slides straight in, no worries. Some of them it's a pig. If it doesn't, you might just need a bit of persuasion with a small pair of pliers. Obviously making sure they're lined up all the way along so that you don't jam the wire through and straight into your finger, which I've done more than once already. And we just keep feeding the wire in until it's all the way through. To be honest, I think these probably needed slightly more than a 1/2 mil drill bit, maybe a 0.6, but this will keep the wire in. Once we know we're in all the way, we can pull it back a couple of mil. Not using your best sprue cutters, use an old pair of sprue cutters, because even though it's a soft brass wire, it'll still blunt and snip off the wire, shove it back in, and then you can add a small drop of super glue if you want, just to make sure it's held in. Some sets come with extra little bits that you can stick over there. I'm not going to bother, because being a German tank, they're different side to side, so we can make sure that that's on the inside edge and won't be visible. As you can see, this wire is going through a lot simpler in this this link. Up till there, and then we reach the sticky bit. So again, pick up the little pair of pliers, persuade it wants to go in, nip it back out a little, snip it off fairly close to be a nail or a tool. If you haven't got any nails at all, you just shove it back in. I'll do another one because I've got to put all these together anyway, but I won't sit here and do the whole set, don't worry. And that one's gone straight in all the way on its own. So again, back a mil or so, snip off fairly close, pop it back in, and we just carry on doing that until the entire set of tracks is assembled. It can be a bit of a pig, it can take quite a while, but eventually you'll end up with a full set of tracks for whichever vehicle it is you're doing. And once everything is done and they're on, all they really need is just weathering. There's no paint required, just pigment, or maybe pick out the high points. They probably just run a sander or a file over them once. Probably my favourite sander ever, the UMP. Just give it a wipe off on my trousers. And yes, in short, literally, if I just drag that over, you see, instantly takes off the surface corrosion. And gives us the shiny metal high points again, so you don't even need to paint those. Should you have a look see at the other ones that I've chucked into the solution and see if they've actually changed colour at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't, because as I say, this is not at its best. It's done a full set of tracks already. Yeah, it's starting to turn. See if any well, just give that a swill off, just keep my hands safer. Right, that's been in there a couple of minutes, and say that's old solution, but we can see it roughly centered on the screen. You can see that there is a colour difference between the one that hasn't been in and the one that has. Just a few more minutes and job done. So there we go, how I do Friul tracks. Hope that's helped someone. I'm sure it has. I do see other how to put it, I do see set on a semi-regular basis people asking about these, so problems solved. Anyway, thanks for watching and sticking with me this long, even though this is a massively abbreviated version. We're 25 minutes shorter than we were. Enjoy your modelling, have fun. Rock on. Peace. Bye bye.